It's hard not to argue that this is one of the most iconic aircraft of World War II, and it's a pretty impressive piece of kit. But I haven't got a lot to say about it right now, because literally the only reason I'm showing you this is so I can show it to you next to this, which is most definitely the daddy of the bombers. And some of you might be asking, well, what's that? And them's fighting words. This is an Avro Lancaster. And yeah, sure, it's only been in about like 2.5 films, but it's not how many films you've been in. You know, it's not about the PR campaign. This, for what it was designed for, was most definitely one hell of a piece of kit. We did night raids, the British did, because we didn't have the numbers to take the attrition that day raids would do. And the B17 took an awful lot of abuse during its day raid missions, but we also didn't quite have the same precision as the Americans, so we used this thing and it dropped an awful lot more ordnance per aircraft than the Americans did. And it had the ability to drop that big thing that's underneath it that you might not be able to see, called a Grand Slam bomb. And that thing was the biggest munition dropped by any aircraft in the war. See, this is the Grand Slam. It's a 22,000 pound ordnance, and it was designed so that you drop it, it would hit the ground, penetrate deep into the ground, and then explode and create a huge cavernous vacuum, well, not vacuum, but a big empty space in the ground, which would then collapse in. So whatever buildings were on top of that would then collapse in, and it was called the earthquake bomb because it would trigger a small earthquake where it landed. And then there's underneath, I think that was called the Tall Boy. I'm going to check the sign for that. Yeah, Tall Boy. So the other one underneath is called the Tall Boy, and that was like a half-size version of the Grand Slam. See, not as well defended as the B17. No bell turret. That's not actually a ball turret there. There's only the upper turret, the rear turret, and then the front gunner, which was manned by the bomb aimer. Whereas the B17, it's over there in the background that you can't quite see because it's hidden under stuff, had a ball turret, front turret, dorsal turrets, top turret, and a rear turret. So not as well defended, but it wasn't really made for the same kind of mission parameters. And here's the other thing. 4 Merlin engines. It's like having 4 Spitfires strapped together in one aircraft. So yeah, completely biased, and yes, I'm saying it tongue-in-cheek that this is the daddy. This is the best one. Way better than a B17. But you know, you can fight about that in the comments. As I have to keep emphasising for the overly pedantic history nerds, I'm just playing favourites with this. There's obviously lots of different factors go into telling you what's good or bad about an aircraft, but I particularly love this one.